Jenna Gribbon. Jenna Gribbon is known for her direct, intimate portraits that focus on people within her personal life. Her work is centered on observation, attention, and the act of looking, both as an artist and as a subject. She was born in Knoxville, Tennessee in 1978 and later studied art in New York. Over time, she developed a painting style that feels immediate and personal, often working from life rather than photographs. This decision plays a big role in how her paintings feel. There is a sense of presence in the work, as if the viewer is sharing the same space as the subject. Most of Gribbon's paintings focus on people she knows closely. These are not distant or anonymous figures. They are individuals she spends time with, often painted in private or informal settings. Because of this, the work carries a level of familiarity that is hard to fake. One of the key elements in her work is gaze. Her subjects are often aware of being looked at. In some paintings, they look directly back at the viewer. In others, they appear focused on something just outside the frame. This creates a dynamic where the viewer becomes part of the interaction rather than just an observer. Her compositions are usually tight and focused. She often frames the figure closely, sometimes cropping parts of the body. This removes unnecessary distractions and keeps the attention on the relationship between the subject and the viewer. It also adds to the sense of closeness. Lighting plays an important role in her paintings. She often uses artificial light sources, such as lamps or studio lights, to create strong contrasts. This allows her to highlight certain areas of the body while leaving others in shadow. The result is an image that feels both controlled and natural. In terms of technique, her brushwork is loose but confident. She does not aim for perfect detail. Instead, she focuses on capturing the overall presence of the subject. Some areas of the painting are more defined, while others are left open or unfinished. This variation gives the work energy and movement. Color is used in a direct and functional way. Skin tones are not always realistic. She allows colors to shift depending on the light and the mood of the scene. This approach keeps the painting from becoming too fixed or predictable. Another important aspect of her work is how it deals with perspective. Because she often paints people she is close to, there is a level of access that changes how the subject is presented. The viewer is not seeing a staged or distant image. Instead, it feels like a moment that is being shared. Over the past few years, Gribbon's work has gained strong attention in the contemporary art world. She has exhibited in major galleries in New York, Los Angeles, and internationally. Collectors and institutions have shown interest in her ability to bring something new to portrait painting without abandoning traditional methods. What makes her work stand out is its honesty. The paintings do not rely on complex narratives or heavy symbolism. Instead, they focus on real interactions between people. The interest comes from how those interactions are observed and translated into paint. There is also a sense of immediacy in her work. Because she often paints from life, the paintings capture specific moments in time. They are not constructed over long periods with heavy planning. Instead, they reflect what is happening in front of her in that moment. In a time when many artists are working from digital images or creating highly polished works, Gribbon's approach feels direct. She focuses on the basics of painting, observation, light, color, and composition, but uses them in a way that feels current. Her work shows that portrait painting can still evolve. By focusing on close relationships and the act of looking, she creates images that feel both simple and complex at the same time. Jennifer Packer. Jennifer Packer is a painter whose work focuses on portraiture and still life, but in a way that challenges how these subjects are usually presented. Her paintings are quiet, restrained, and often minimal, yet they carry a strong emotional weight. She was born in Philadelphia in 1984 and studied at the Tyler School of Art before completing her MFA at Yale University. Her training gave her a strong foundation in traditional painting, but her approach moves away from polished realism. Instead, she focuses on suggestion, atmosphere, and feeling. Most of Packer's work centers on people from her immediate circle, friends, family, and individuals within her community. These are not idealized portraits. The figures often appear relaxed, sometimes tired, sometimes distant. They are shown in everyday moments, without dramatic poses or exaggerated expressions. One of the most noticeable things about her paintings is how little information they seem to give at first. Backgrounds are often sparse or completely undefined. Details are reduced to only what is necessary. In some cases, parts of the figure seem to dissolve into the surface of the canvas. This creates a sense that the image is still forming or even fading. Her use of color is subtle but very deliberate. She works with soft, muted tones, often blending colors in a way that makes edges feel unclear. Skin tones shift between warm and cool, sometimes moving into unexpected colors. This approach removes the idea of a fixed or exact representation and replaces it with something more fluid. Another important part of her work is how she handles paint. Her brushwork is loose and controlled at the same time. In some areas, the paint is thin and almost transparent. In others, it is thicker and more defined. This variation creates a surface that feels active, even when the subject itself is still. Packer also creates still life paintings, particularly of flowers. These works might seem separate from her portraits, but they carry similar ideas. The flowers are often shown at different stages, sometimes fresh, sometimes beginning to fade. This introduces themes of time, care, and loss without directly stating them. There is a strong sense of presence in her work, even though the paintings are quiet. Her figures do not demand attention, but they hold it. The lack of detail forces the viewer to slow down and look more carefully. Over time, more information begins to appear. Her work has gained major recognition over the past few years. She has exhibited at important institutions, including the Serpentine Galleries in London and the Whitney Museum of American Art in New York. Her paintings are also part of major collections, and she is represented by leading galleries. What makes Packer's work stand out is her refusal to over-explain. In a time when many artists aim for clarity and direct messaging, she allows space for ambiguity. Her paintings do not tell the viewer exactly what to think or feel. Instead, they create a quiet space where meaning can develop slowly. There is also a strong focus on care and attention. The way she paints her subjects suggests a level of respect and closeness. Even when the image feels incomplete, there is nothing careless about it. Every mark seems considered. In today's art world, where images are often fast and immediate, Packer's work moves at a different pace. It requires time. It does not reveal everything at once, and that is part of its strength. Her paintings show that you do not need complexity or heavy detail to create impact. By reducing the image to its essential elements, she allows emotion and presence to come forward in a direct way. That is what defines her work. It is not about showing everything. It is about showing just enough and trusting the viewer to meet the painting halfway. Hernan Bas. Hernan Bas is known for creating detailed, narrative-driven paintings that focus on young male figures placed in unusual, often imaginative settings. His work sits between reality and fiction, combining elements of history, literature, and fantasy into a single image. He was born in Miami, Florida in 1978 and grew up in a culturally mixed environment that exposed him to different influences early on. Unlike many painters, Bas did not follow a strict academic path through art school. Instead, he developed his style through self-directed practice, which allowed him to build a visual language that feels personal and independent. At the center of his work are his characters. Most of his paintings feature young men who appear isolated, introspective, or caught in moments of quiet action. These figures are not portraits of specific people. Instead, they act as recurring characters that Bas uses to explore identity, youth, and social behavior. What makes his work stand out is the environments he places these figures in. His paintings often include surreal or unexpected elements. A figure might be standing in a dense forest, surrounded by unusual objects, or engaged in an activity that feels both ordinary and strange at the same time. These settings are carefully constructed and filled with detail, encouraging the viewer to look closely and spend time with the image. Bas draws heavily from historical references. His work often echoes 19th century painting, particularly in how he handles composition, clothing, and atmosphere. At the same time, he mixes these references with contemporary themes, creating a contrast between past and present. This combination gives his paintings a timeless quality, but also makes them feel slightly out of place. His use of color is controlled and deliberate. He often works with darker, muted tones, which create a moody and sometimes mysterious atmosphere. In some cases, he introduces brighter colors to highlight certain parts of the composition, guiding the viewer's attention to specific details. Another important aspect of his work is storytelling. Each painting feels like a scene from a larger narrative, but the full story is never explained. The viewer is left to interpret what is happening based on the clues within the image. This open-ended approach is part of what keeps his work engaging. Bas also pays close attention to surface and texture. His paintings are built with layers of paint, creating depth and richness. Some areas are highly detailed, while others are more loosely handled. This contrast adds complexity and keeps the viewer's eye moving across the canvas. Over the years, his work has gained significant recognition in the international art world. He has exhibited in major galleries and institutions across the United States and Europe, and his paintings are included in important collections. Collectors are drawn to his ability to combine technical skill with strong conceptual ideas. One of the reasons Bas remains relevant is his consistent focus on identity and perception. His figures often appear to be performing or presenting themselves in a certain way, raising questions about how identity is constructed and observed. At the same time, there is often a sense of isolation in his work, even when the figures are placed in complex environments. His paintings do not rely on shock or extreme imagery. Instead, they build interest through detail, atmosphere, and subtle tension. The viewer is not overwhelmed but gradually pulled into the world of the painting. In a time when many artists are moving toward minimalism or digital work, Bas continues to focus on traditional painting, but with a contemporary approach. He uses the language of classical painting but applies it to subjects and ideas that feel current. Ambera Wellmann. Ambera Wellmann is part of a younger generation of painters pushing figurative art into more fluid and uncertain territory. Her work focuses on the human body, but not in a fixed or stable way. Instead, bodies in her paintings often dissolve, merge, or transform into something else entirely. She was born in Canada and studied painting at the Ontario College of Art and Design. From early on, her interest was not in clean representation, but in exploring how far the body can be stretched before it loses its identity. This idea continues to define her work today. At first glance, her paintings can feel chaotic. Forms overlap, figures blend into each other, and it is not always clear where one body ends and another begins. Faces appear and disappear, limbs twist into unfamiliar shapes, and surfaces seem to shift constantly. But this is not random. There is a clear sense of control behind the confusion. Wellmann builds her paintings through layers. She applies paint, then removes parts of it, then adds new forms on top. This process creates a surface that feels active and constantly changing. It also means that earlier decisions are never fully erased. Traces remain visible, giving the work a sense of history. Her use of color is also important. She often works with soft, almost flesh-like tones, mixed with darker, more intense colors. This creates a tension between something that feels human and something that feels unfamiliar. The palette helps push the work away from realism and into a more psychological space. One of the key ideas in her work is transformation. The body is not fixed. It can expand, collapse, merge with other forms, or break apart completely. In some paintings, figures seem to be in the process of becoming something else, but it is never clear what that final form is. This uncertainty is intentional. Her compositions often avoid clear structure. Instead of placing figures in stable positions, she allows them to float or shift within the space. Backgrounds and bodies blend together, making it difficult to separate subject from environment. This creates a feeling that everything in the painting is connected. Despite how complex the work looks, her approach is grounded in traditional painting. She is deeply engaged with the history of figurative art, but instead of repeating it, she breaks it down and rebuilds it in her own way. You can see references to classical painting in how she handles light, flesh, and composition, but those references are always distorted. Wellmann's work has gained strong attention in recent years. She has exhibited internationally, including shows in New York, London, and Zurich. Galleries and collectors are paying attention because her work feels different. It does not follow a safe or predictable path. What makes her stand out is her willingness to let painting remain unresolved. Many artists try to control every part of the image, but Wellmann allows instability to exist. Her paintings do not offer clear answers. Instead, they stay open, forcing the viewer to spend more time trying to understand what they are seeing. There is also a physical quality to her work. The way the paint is handled, the thickness in some areas, the transparency in others, all of it adds to the experience. You are not just looking at an image, you are looking at a surface that has been worked, changed, and pushed over time. In today's art world, where many figurative painters focus on clarity and identity, Wellmann moves in the opposite direction. She focuses on uncertainty, transformation, and instability. Her figures are not fixed portraits. They are shifting forms that challenge how we understand the human body. Rafa Macarrón. Rafa Macarrón is one of the most recognizable young painters working today, known for creating strange, distorted figures that feel both playful and slightly uncomfortable at the same time. His work sits in a space between abstraction and figuration, where the human body is still visible, but never quite normal. He was born in Madrid, Spain in 1981, and his path into painting was not traditional. Macarrón originally studied physiotherapy before shifting fully into art. That background is important because it shapes how he understands the body. Instead of painting realistic anatomy, he breaks it apart, stretches it, and rebuilds it in unusual ways. Arms become too long, faces collapse into simple shapes, and bodies feel loose, almost unstable. At first glance, his paintings can look simple, even childlike. The lines are loose, the colors are bright, and the figures often appear awkward or unfinished. But the simplicity is intentional. Macarrón is not trying to impress with technical perfection. He is more interested in feeling, movement, and instinct. His figures often look like they are in motion, walking, dancing, or interacting with each other in unclear ways. One of the key things that defines his work is how he uses space. His backgrounds are often flat and minimal, sometimes just a single color or loosely painted environment. This pushes all the attention onto the figures themselves. It also creates a sense of isolation, as if these characters exist in their own strange world, disconnected from reality. His color choices play a big role in this feeling. He uses soft pastels alongside stronger, more vibrant tones. Pink, blue, green, and yellow appear frequently, but they are not used in a natural way. Skin tones shift into unnatural colors, making the figures feel less human and more like symbols or emotional expressions. Even though the work can feel playful, there's always a level of tension underneath. The distortion of the body can feel uncomfortable. The expressions are often unclear, and the interactions between figures can seem awkward or distant. This balance between humor and discomfort is what makes his work stand out. Macarrón's process is fast and intuitive. He often works quickly, allowing mistakes and imperfections to remain visible on the canvas. This gives the work a raw, immediate quality. You can see the energy in each line, almost like a drawing that was never meant to be cleaned up or corrected. Over the past few years, his work has gained strong international attention. He has exhibited in major cities including Madrid, Paris, Hong Kong, and New York. His paintings are now part of important private and public collections, and he is represented by well-known galleries that continue to push his work into the global market. What makes Macarrón important right now is how he challenges expectations of what figurative painting should look like. At a time when many artists focus on hyper-realism or polished surfaces, he moves in the opposite direction. He embraces imperfection, distortion, and simplicity. His figures may look strange, but they feel alive. They carry emotion, even without clear facial expressions or detailed features. They exist somewhere between humor and discomfort, between control and chaos. And that is where his strength lies. He takes something familiar, the human body, and turns it into something unpredictable, not to confuse the viewer, but to make them look longer, question what they are seeing, and feel something that is not immediately easy to explain.